Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and we're working on our Heaven Journal now. And so I wanted to talk to you because I don't know what time of the year it is when you're doing this, but for me, it is August and getting kind of in the middle of August, so the flowers out in my garden are going away. And I have put these two pressed flower slides or cards or whatever you want to call them into the kit. And so I wanted to put some flowers in them before it was too late. So I went out into the garden and I got some purple sage and I got a coneflower and the leaves, and then I got a hydrangea. And so those are what I'm going to be working with. And so what I did is and the coneflower was kind of difficult because it has a really fat center. So if you're picking flowers, it's better to pick things that don't have a really hard raised center. My daisies were like that, so I didn't try those. But anyway, you get your flowers, you put them on a plate, and you put paper towels, and then you put your flowers, and then you put, actually, you might want to put 2 or 3 layers of paper towels under the flowers, and then a couple more layers on top. And you take the same plate because they need to fit tightly together. So whatever, don't use plates that have a foot on them. Anything you have, if you have something flat even, you can use it, but things that fit closely together. I just happen to have these plates that do that. So I smashed them with the plates and put all the plates I had in the cabinet on top for weight. And then I put the bowls on top of that, put them in the microwave. I microwaved them for 2 minutes, pulled them apart and looked at them, and the paper towels were wet. So I took those away and put 2 more fresh paper towels on top and microwaved it for another 30 seconds. And I think that pretty much did it. And so then I took everything off and just kind of let them air dry a little bit. So those will go into the slides. Okay, so then you have 2 sets of slides, and I am going to cut them using 2 different methods. One is with an X-Acto knife. I'm very familiar with X-Acto knives, so it feels more comfortable to me to use these. But I'm going to attempt to use the little snips from Tim Holtz's scissors that he sells, and show you how you could cut them with that. Hopefully my blade is sharp, and actually I think I am not even going to use my ruler. It's just I need to see that line, which I just slightly missed. So I'm going to do it this way. So I'm just following around real careful on my glass cutting board. Now, if for some reason you're doing this and it's December, you don't have to put flowers in them. You could put die cut flowers, die cut butterflies that come, you can see them, like I know Tim Holtz sells a bunch of die-cut flowers. You could put those in the window. There's a lot of different things you could do, and I didn't say flowers on these just kind of for that reason, so that you could use them however you wanted to. So any kind of fussy cutting, if you want to print out some butterflies and fussy cut those, that would work. So if you're using an X-Acto knife, the thing is just go slow. This is not my favorite X-Acto knife. They have X-Acto knives with foam on the handles. This is sliding in my hand because it's so slick. But on the other things, I'm left-handed, so that's probably weird when you look at it, when you watch me, but sorry about that. Nothing I can do about that. Okay, so that's, so you can kind of see how long that took. It didn't take very long. And that's one method. So then another method would be to, I'm going to try these Tim Holtz snips and just kind of poke a hole, which could be the most dangerous part of it. And just cut it that way. I haven't used these that much, so we'll see how this goes. Weirdly enough, I'm I think better at cutting with those big giant dollar scissors that I use all the time, but probably a good idea to develop my skill set and use these. So this is simple enough. Probably takes about the same amount of time, maybe. As long as you don't stab yourself in that first move, you're good. These have a weird kind of feel to them when you cut with them. It's almost like they have teeth. It's not like a smooth sound. I need to take a closer look at them because it's really funny. But I mean, they cut fine. They're great. They're titanium and supposed to be wonderful. So, but they do have a weird feel when you cut with them. Okay, so there's those two. And I mean, these you could use for cards or something. I mean, that's one thing with an X-Acto knife. You get a nice clean center cut out. These are kind of destroyed. I mean, you could still use them, I guess. Glue in those pages where you put scraps. So anyway, then I take a sleeve. This one, I don't know what this came from, but ephemera assortment. Okay, so these kind of, I don't know what this material is, but these bags that you get things in from the art supply store, your stamping pads come in them, pretty much everything comes in them. And so I just cut a window out of them. Can I use that? And I can trim it later if I need to. These are the same size, but I'll use the right one just to make sure. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold that up there. Make sure I get it at least big enough to cover the window. Trim it down later. And I will tell you that I tried using Fabri-Tac glue. It does not work on this material. So the art glitter glue works really well. I imagine Elmer's glue will work. I haven't tried it, but I know for sure that the art glitter glue that we keep talking about works really well. And it gives you a nice tiny bead, which is nice when you're working on these little skinny pieces. So to decide which one, I really like all of them. I wonder, definitely this hydrangea. This is a limelight hydrangea. I'm going to use that on one of them. Hydrangeas work really well for these. So I'm just going to slide that in there. I might kind of pull it down. So it'll be like that. So I'm going to take the art glitter glue, run a bead around the frame. Oops. Good grief. Don't be like me. Okay. And then I'm going to lay this carefully in the window where I want it. Make sure I have enough room on both sides to glue and cover it. Now, I also glue the flower now into there. I'm going to put, I'm lifting one layer up and I'm exposing the flower, and I'm putting some of this glue here to seal this. Side that's open. And the glue, it shows white, but it will dry clear. The stem's a little thick. I don't know if that will glue, but it's okay either way. So put glue on there, and when it dries, it'll be clear. And then let me get a wet wipe. Keep this clean so you're not sliding your stuff around in the glue on the table. Another nice thing about these glass cutting boards is they clean up really quick and nice. And then wipe that real quick. So. Okay, and I'm going to put some more glue now on this top layer. And down here at the bottom, so that cardboard glues to cardboard. Make sure I have the right one. And then glue them together. And there you go. And we will trim it up after it's dry. And then you can go in with a black thin line marker and write the name of it. I look it up on Google and get the Latin name just to make it look a little more legit. Because that's what plant people do. They have the Latin names for all the plants. Now this is still not gluing, and so you can go, that's the other thing, see this small tip allows you to go in there and put glue where you need it. It's going to gush out, I'm afraid, but that's not too bad. And when this dries, you can go in and touch it up with glue if you need to. Here on the side. Okay, so that's that one. Now this one, I like both these flowers, and so normally in a flower slide you'd only have one kind of flower, but this is journaling and I can do whatever I want. So I think I might try putting both of these. I like the purple because it kind of coordinates with the color of the slide. But I like my little coneflower. I like that little pop of color. So I'm going to try and see if I can get both in here. Should have put this in first, but why ever do anything the easy way when you can do it the hard way? Okay. So we'll see how that works out. All right, so we go back, put our glue. Got that a little high. So I'm going to touch it in the glue and drag it down. So I need that purple to show. Because I could pull it down instead of doing that. Now, okay. This folded side over here is going to be a problem when I trim it, because it's going to open it up and I'm going to have to go back in and glue it shut. Just be aware you might have to glue the sides closed after you're all done and everything's been dry. No big deal, but just know you might have to do that. Trim this off just a little bit. So, because right now it's closed, but it won't be. When you cut that off, it's going to open that side up, is what I'm saying. So you're going to need to glue it shut with some art glue. But I will do that when the time comes. So I've put this second layer over, gluing it to itself shut. And then I'm gluing the cardboard to cardboard over the top of it. And anything that sticks out the sides, you just trim it off later. Yeah, see how that's kind of puffy there? When you trim that, it's going to be open and you'll have to go in and finish gluing that. Okay, so there's that. There's your 2 flower slides. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching.